Hello, my name is Kelly and I'm coming to you on behalf of Collective Recovery. This video series has been all about relapse prevention, and the reason is because it's that important to staying sober and having success in long-term recovery. Now, relapse doesn't need to be a part of your recovery journey, but it can be. And so in order to avoid having a relapse, there are some things that you want to pay attention to, things you want to watch out for. Now, in the first video in this series, we talked about the different stages of relapse: the emotional stage, the mental stage, or the physical stage. Go back and watch that video. Now, also, we talked about some different things that can trigger relapse. The first one being hanging out with old playmates and playthings, or being around the same situations or people that you used to use or drink with. Now, yesterday we talked about the importance of being mindful of celebratory times, right? It's really customary to want to celebrate. Of course, you want to celebrate, but there are some things that you can do in order to avoid relapse when you're celebrating. Now, the very last video in this series I want to talk to you guys about is really something that I see happening over and over, and this is something I even used to struggle with, is the concept of when I had a strong emotional reaction to something that actually triggered a relapse. Now, here's the thing to remember: emotions are not bad or good, and feelings are just feelings. They are not facts. However, those of us that struggle with if addiction or alcoholism, if we're not actually taught a proper way to cope with our emotions, cope with our feelings, it can be very difficult to, prevent relapse if we don't have any other coping skills other than going back to the drink or the drug. And I personally have experience with this, whereas I didn't understand that I had all this emotion, right? All these feelings that I'd been medicating and numbing for years. And that's usually what happens, especially when someone enters recovery. There's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of feelings, things that we haven't thought about or felt in a very long time. And certain people, places, and things might trigger emotions in us. Family can even trigger emotions. We actually did a video series on that last week, so go back and watch that video series. But there are healthy ways that you can cope with your emotion. The first thing I feel is really important is to take care of your physical health. Now, we did a whole series on self-care, but your physical health is really important. If you're tired or you're hungry, if you're not taking care of your physical health, it's really easy to be triggered with a strong emotional reaction. When you're not physically feeling well, your emotional state suffers as well. Now, also, what helps is getting good sleep. If you're not feeling, if you're feeling emotional, I like to take a nap. I've been known to do that, or go to bed early, whatever I need to do in order to maintain my sobriety. There's no shame in that. Taking care of your physical health is huge, and it helps your emotional state. Now, again, there's other ways, like you can use journaling. You can journal your feelings. You can write everything out. You can also use a notepad or a voice notes on your phone and talk things out to yourself. But what also is very, very helpful is to have a licensed therapist that you can meet with on a regular basis to help you process those emotions. And again, we have those licensed therapists on staff at Collective. So if that's something that you need help with, definitely message us here. But here's the thing, is if we're not taking care of our emotional state, that is the first stage in relapse, right? And so when we're taking care of our emotions, we find healthy ways to cope with our emotions. We are less likely to have a strong emotional reaction when one does occur, or we have reprogrammed our brain to be able to seek out healthy ways of coping with that emotion by talking to a therapist, by meditating, by praying, maybe exercising. Exercise is a really good one because it gets rid of a lot of that anxiety, a lot of that worry. So there's a lot of different ways that you can manage your emotional state. And again, if you have a problem with this, is something you struggle with, I would highly encourage you to give us a call. We can talk to you about getting set up with either our outpatient treatment program that will give you a lot of these skills in order to stay sober and maintain your sobriety, as well as licensed therapists that can walk you through how to come up with your own relapse prevention program in order to manage your emotions in a healthy way. So it is up to us as addicts or alcoholics. If you want to stay sober, recovery has to be the number one thing. It has to be that thing where you are willing to do whatever you need to do. And the emotional piece and being aware of your emotions is a big part of that. So this wraps up this particular video series. Thank you for watching this video series. Like we said, there's a few videos that you can watch this week on relapse prevention. There's actually a video series a couple weeks ago about self-care. And then last week we talked about family triggers and navigating those. So we hope that this video series has been helpful to you. Let us know in the comments if it has. And give us a like, give us a little bit of love here. And then again, if you or a loved one is struggling with alcoholism, with addiction, we're here to help. We have an amazing outpatient treatment program that will help set you up for success for long-term recovery, as well as we do offer individualized sessions. So please give us a call at 1-866-UTAH-HOPE, or you can visit our website at www.collectiverecoverycenter.com for your free benefits review, or you can message us here and we will be happy to get back to you. Thanks so much for watching.